Come on. Let's get it. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Understand this. To be on time is to be late. Actually, hold on. Let's rewind that a little bit. All right. To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late, and to be late is to be irrelevant. And I want you to keep that in mind. Keep that in mind as we get to today's Move Swiftly thought. All right. This past Sunday officially had the first weekly live stream in which I've entitled NIL and Transfer Portal Navigation. It was a great conversation. I highly recommend you go sit down and watch the entire 48 minutes. I had my guy Stephen Davis Jr. on there, who former player and now works in the alumni department at the University of Minnesota. Also has his own business called Striving Higher, where he looks to work with athletes as they're transitioning into the next phase of life, right? So I highly recommend you go and listen to the entire replay. They'll be on weekly. This week, actually, it's not going to be in the morning. It's going to be at 8 p.m. We're going to have a time change because my guest couldn't do it in the morning, and it's another business development director with Proactive Athletes, very heavily involved out here in the South Florida community when it comes to youth football, high school football, doing a lot of great things, and you'll hear from him this Sunday coming up, right? So the reason I started off with the quote about making sure you're on time, making sure you're early, making sure you're dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's, and making sure you're there so you can prepare if things go wrong, all right? So I've been a podcast host for the past 4 years, and believe it or not, this past Sunday was the first time I've ever used YouTube Live. I've never actually used it. Most of the time when I do a recording, I just hit the normal Zoom, hit the record, get the recordings, and then put it on YouTube later because it's very simple, very user-friendly. And or if I'm going to do a podcast episode and record on my phone, the video usually saves to iCloud, and then I'm able to put it on YouTube later and, load it up on my podcast and all that. So very, very simple stuff, right? So I had assumed that YouTube was going to do the same thing. So a whole week was going by, and I had the live stream link on YouTube. So I posted the link to live stream and said, it's going to be going down Super Bowl Sunday, February 11th, 11 a.m. And everything was ready on that specific link. So I purposely, because I've been in speaking for a while now, I know how these engagements work, I made sure I got myself ready. I got and sat down at my computer at 9 a.m., 2 hours before the actual live stream. It gave me an opportunity to catch up on some things, make sure, write some articles, make sure some business was handled before the actual event. And most importantly, it made it so I understood, or I was going to test my mic and make sure everything was working. So by the time 11 a.m. hit, we're ready to roll, right? And it's a good thing I did, because Steven texted me. He texted me like about an hour before. He actually texted me the night before, trying to get a link to join the live stream. And I'm thinking, all right, cool. Since it's already posted, I'll just send him the link, and there's going to be an easy way to invite guests on. Not quite. As I'm loading up. So this is around 9:30ish, 9:15, 9:30, close to 9:30. And I'm loading up getting things ready to send him over a link like I would normally do on a Zoom meeting. I'm realizing, wait a minute, YouTube doesn't have a link in which you could just send a guest somewhere, or send to a guest somewhere, and then he could be on the live stream with you. It doesn't work like Zoom. So I'm freaking out. I'm calling my editor. I'm texting my editor. I'm like, yo, how do you do this? How do you do that? Because we're about to start, and I didn't know. So my editor, he helped me out. Shout out to Robbie, the SEO expert, my guy who always is hooking me up with these thumbnails and all that. So he sends me a video in which he says, look, watch it. It explains how you're able to invite guests. There's a link, this, that, and the third. And then I'm realizing, no, it's not going to be through YouTube. I have to download another app, which was StreamYard. And I'm concerned at this point. I'm like, man, is StreamYard going to charge me some? I don't know how StreamYard works, all that kind of stuff. And StreamYard made it incredibly easy, incredibly efficient. All you really had to do was log in with your Gmail account, or log in with your YouTube account, which is also your Gmail account, because YouTube is owned by Google and all that, and everything moves smoothly. It just so happened also that Steve is familiar with StreamYard as well. and we were able to have a great conversation. It turned out to be a great event, and I'm looking forward to doing more of it. And in fact, when you go watch it, you'll hear me say it on the recording, where by the time next week comes around, I'm going to be an expert on how to use that. And the reason I'm breaking all of that down for you is because of the efficiency and how user-friendly the entire thing was. These are the things that win in business. These are the things that we have to take away through our normal day-to-day experience. Number one, you got to be on time. Forget about being on time. You got to be incredibly early when important things are happening, just in case certain things go down. But most importantly, if you're running a business and you want people to engage with you, you're trying to attract new users to your business, you have to make it incredibly user-friendly, and the user experience has to be 1,000% great. Like, there has to be no defects when it comes to the user experience, because as you can see, these kinds of things change lives. I mean, these are the important things when it comes to me. I was doing a lot of promo for these live streams, and if I would have messed it up, then hey, again, my reputation and the way I do business with this guy Steven, now that gets soured, and now that doesn't look as professional as I want it to look. But again, StreamYard had the service that makes it so, boom, things ran as smoothly as they did. All right, take that into consideration. Think about these things when you're approaching your new ideas, when you're broaching new ideas, or you're trying to create new features, or you're trying to create new opportunities for people. Think about that user experience, and think about how we can make things efficient as they're moving, as we are relaying them to bigger companies and relaying them to bigger platforms and things of that nature. All right. As I mentioned before, jump on the live stream this Sunday. It's coming up the 18th. Main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, makeyamove.com. That's MAKEYAMOVE.com. One-stop shop for all your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.